So it looks like we are live. So hey there, welcome. It is Sunday night, July 26th, and it is time for Learning with Lynn. So I'm Lynn Huber.
And I'm Richard.
And this is Richard, my sidekick. So we are looking forward to training you, working with you tonight. So if you're here, say hi. If you're watching the replay, be sure to type replay so I know you were here. Hi, Karen. Good to see you. So let me move some things around.
Sarah's here too. Hi, Sarah.
Well, Sarah, that was a long time ago. So let me move some things around here. And okay, so we're sharing our screen now. Hi, Denise. Good to see you. So we're sharing our screen. You should be able to see our screen. This is my blog, onlinebeautybiz.com. It's where I do all of my training for team members as well as any rep who wants training anywhere. And these Sunday nights are open to any rep who might benefit from them anywhere. You don't even have to be in the U.S., although most of what we're teaching is applicable to the U.S. But everyone is welcome. So be sure to invite your team members if you think this will benefit them. So today we're going to talk about putting out brochures door to door and at businesses. This is another way to grow your business. And so we are on my blog at onlinebeautybiz.com. In the far right side right here, there's a search. Right underneath, you can sign up today to receive our newsletter, and that gets you on my email list so you'll know about upcoming events and stuff. And plus, when you sign up, you'll get a pack of my best recruiting flyers and labels that you can use. So that's the sign up, and right below that is the search. So you can search for anything you need help with. And then underneath that is categories. So we have, like, literally, if you want to know how to do Facebook parties or you want to know how to do fundraising or leadership, you can find all of that there. And if you're on a phone, by the way, that whole right column is actually at the bottom of the left column. So if you were on your phone, you would have to scroll all the way down. There's about 6 posts, and then right underneath that would be that right column. It would be down here. So today we are going to go to this post right here, passive prospecting, putting brochures out door to door and businesses. So, do you guys know why I call this passive prospecting? Anybody have any ideas? What it is active prospecting is when you're actually talking to somebody and you're getting their contact information so that you can follow up with them, right? You're actively talking to somebody. Passive prospecting is still prospecting, it's still getting out there, but you're really not talking to anybody, and so you don't leave yourself any way to follow up because maybe you're just putting brochures out at a nail salon or on somebody's doorstep without knocking. And so that's what I'm talking about, passive prospecting. If you knock on the doors, that turns it into active, and we're going to talk about that a little bit. But to be really successful in your Avon business, you need to learn to get outside of your warm market. So you have to get outside of your friends and your family circle, right? Because your friends and family will support you in the beginning, but they'll only support you for so long. I mean, they might be buying from you if you're new, just because you're new and because they want to help you out. Obviously, if they love Avon and they are big Avon buyers, they would continue to buy from you. But most of our friends and family really are only doing it to help us out, and that only goes so far. Right? So if you want to build a business, if you want to start making money, you need to get outside of your friends and family. And that's outside of your warm market. And so we're constantly looking for new ways to meet people. So right now we're working on this daily 8 system. So growing our Avon business is actually really simple. There's only 5 steps. First one, prospect for new customers and recruits. Number 2, get a brochure, whether it's paper or digital, doesn't matter, to every customer, every campaign. Number 3, follow up with every customer you gave a brochure to every campaign before your order goes in. Number 4, take the order, submit to Avon, and deliver to your customer, or send them to your online store. And number 5, rinse and repeat. It's just that simple. If you do those 4 things over and over and over again, I mean, it's just repetition. It's not even like you have to know a whole lot to do your Avon business. You just need to find new people. You need to get a brochure to them. You need to follow up, and then you need to take the order. That's it. So it's really that simple. And so we have our daily 8 system, which is to help you work on the activities that will grow your business. And the daily 8 system is a proven formula. When followed consistently, the Daily 8 will help you maintain the consistency that you need to build a thriving team and an exponentially expanding residual income. So instead of working 8 hours a day, you're just working instead of working 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week, your goal is to capture 8 points a day, 5 days a week for a total of 40 points per week. So if you do this plan consistently for 90 days, teach your team to do the same, and then at the end of 90 days, do it again and again and again and again, right? So here is the download the Daily 8 plan. This is the plan. You've all seen this probably. So here is the tracking, and you're going to get points. So for prospecting for customers, if you give out a brochure and you get their contact information, you can have a point for every 3 names you get. Every 3 people you get their contact information for, that's a point. Prospecting for team members, someone who might be interested in selling Avon, 1 point for every 3 names you get, right? Because if you get those names and their contact information and then you keep following up with them, eventually they're going to join your team. Follow up with them 2 to 3 days after meeting. This is just when you first meet people. You follow up with them 2 to 3 days later saying, hey, I met you at Walmart on Tuesday and I gave you a brochure, just checking to see if there's anything I can order for you. That's it. And it's just 2 to 3 days after. Or if they're potential recruits, we have a whole system to follow up with them for that. But again, you're going to follow up with them. And then you're going to get into, now you're going to plug them into your system. So you're going to get a brochure to every customer, every campaign. So you get a point for that. You're going to do follow-up text to every customer 2 to 3 days before your order goes in. Hey, this is just a quick reminder. My order goes in on Wednesday. If there's anything you want, give me a call by Tuesday, right? Or text or email or whatever. Then you're going to get points for placing your order, because every rep who is looking to build a decent business is going to place an order, right? And if you're doing most of your business online, if you're doing all of your business online, I still challenge you to go through the Avon brochure and figure out what products that you use that you can replace with Avon. Your shampoo, your conditioner, your deodorant, your perfume, your skincare, all of these things, if you're going and buying them at Walmart, stop that. Because you want to buy them from you to build your own business and to use your own products. Then your customers can ask you what the products are like. You have something to tell them. Yeah, I use it. I love their shampoo. I love I'm using the cheese shampoo. I love it. Richard uses the honey.
I can't think of the poly something.
Therapropyl.
Yeah,
Richard's using the therapropyl and he loves it. So then you have something to say to your customers, right? So even if you're doing your order 100% online, you should still be placing an order with Avon at least every campaign. And then you can get books if you want books. If you're doing a digital, that's fine. But you should probably have some books, because I imagine you're going to have some little old ladies that are going to want an actual brochure in their hand. Just saying, right? So then you're going to get your orders, sort and deliver your customer orders if you're doing that, if you're doing delivery, right? If you're not doing delivery, they'll get it from Avon. And then passive prospecting, that's what we're going to talk about today. Putting brochures out door to door, various businesses, etc. You get a point. And then posting on social media, you get a point. If you're doing an event, party, or show, and then I give you a point for every new recruit you bring in, because those are powerful to your business. And every time you bring in somebody, that's huge for your business. So every one of them will get you a point. And then once you start signing people up, then you have to train them. And so you get a point for training them, maybe a point for looking at leadership reports and doing recognition for your team. And then you get a point for doing business training. That's things like Avon U or Avon USA Representatives Facebook page, right? Or even some of the stuff I have here on Online Beauty Biz. Those are all trainings for how to do your business. Being here on this webinar, on this Facebook Live, you get a point because you're doing Avon training, right? And then personal development. Personal development is you being better as a person, you learning, opening your mind and being so that you're more receptive to what's going on around you, and you're more receptive to opportunities as they come your way, and just being a better person, right? So you can also get a point for that. So that's the Daily 8 system. And right here you can click to download the Daily 8 plan. And then we are doing a Daily 8 challenge or an incentive, whatever you want to call it. And everybody is welcome. And you can click here to log your weekly numbers. This just opens a little form where you fill out what you did this week. And that comes to me. And then we also have our Online Beauty Biz Facebook group, which hopefully you're already in if you're following me here. This is the Online Beauty Biz Facebook group. You want to join this group if you haven't already, okay? So that's the Daily 8, okay? And everybody is welcome, whether you're on our team or not, it doesn't matter. Richard and I are here to support you. We're here to help you grow your business. And we really believe that a rising tide lifts all the ships in the water, right? A rising tide lifts every one of the ships. So let's all lift each other and grow all of our Avon businesses together. So, so today we're going to talk about prospecting door to door for customers and recruits. So regardless of how you work your Avon business, the best thing you can do is get your name and phone number out, is to get your business out there in front of people. So you need your name and phone number on every brochure you pass out. And you want to get their contact information as you give out a brochure. So we use drawing slips for this. This is the drawing slip. You can click this link and open this up, and you just cut these in quarters. And that's what I use to collect their contact information. I know that Tina on our team, she has a little notepad, just a little tiny notepad that hangs on a keychain on her purse, and she uses that. She says, hey, can I get your name and number so I can give you a quick text before my order goes in? So it's just that simple, right? And then you are going to have the most success if you knock on the door, introduce yourself, get their name and number, and follow up. And so if you're doing it this way, you can give yourself a point in the Daily 8 system for every 3 new names that you get, right? As you go out and do this and knock on doors. And for recruits. So you could be out there and maybe you might get 12 names, 3 of them are interested in selling. So that would give you 1 point for the selling part, and 3 points for the rest of them, right? 1 for every 3, right? So, and then, or if you're just going out, and you can give yourself a point just for going out and working the door-to-door method because you're working. So if you're knocking on doors, this is how I suggest you do it. You take 100 brochures, you go out and you knock on each door, you introduce yourself, ask if they'd like an Avon brochure, and when you're offering them a brochure, don't do it like this. Don't say, would you like an Avon brochure? Instead of, would you like an Avon brochure? You assume they're going to take it. You just hand it to them. If, 99% of the time, they'll just take it. If you hand it to them like you expect them to take it, they'll take it. And so, and then just say, hey, can I get your name and number? I'll give you a quick text before my order goes in, just to let you know. Or you can say, I mail my brochures. Would you like to get on my list, or would you like to get on my brochure list, right? So if you do this and you knock on doors and you meet people, out of 100 books, you might get between 20 to 30 orders. Not bad, considering that an average customer is $25. So you could potentially end up with a $500 to a $750 order. Now, I can't promise you anything. Every neighborhood is different. Every rep is different. How you talk to people is going to be different, right? So there's a lot of things that play into that. So this is not a guarantee. I'm just saying, on average, you might get 20 to 30 orders, maybe the average customer order, like nationwide, is $25. So you could end up with a $500 to a $750 order. But then I also know that not everybody can or is willing to go and knock on doors. When Richard and I first started, we were both working 60 to 70 hours a week. I was commuting an hour and a half each way to work and back. That's 3 hours on the road. People don't like you knocking on their door at 11 o'clock at night. So what we did was we did it this way. We leave brochures on doorsteps, or there are other reps who toss them in driveways. So a lot of other reps will take a brochure, and sometimes they'll roll them up and put a rubber band on them, put them in a what's new bag with a rubber band and toss them, or they just put them in a what's new bag and they toss them. I would never just toss a brochure, but hey, you do what you want to do. But we never did that. What we did was we left them on the doorstep. So Richard did that. He's the one that did it. And when you're doing it this way, you're going to need about probably 300 brochures, not just 100, okay? And at least 200 to 300. And you're just going to pick a neighborhood, and you're going to go around that neighborhood, and you're going to leave the brochures on the doorsteps. And then if you see people along the way, obviously you're going to say hi to them. You're going to talk to them if they live there. If they're like you're working in their yard, you're going to offer them the brochure, right? And so you just leave them on the doorsteps. If you do it this way, you might be lucky to get 1 or 2 orders out of it the first time. The key is to go back to the same houses 6 times in a row. And like the second time they're going to go, oh, that's that same person. But the first time they might pick it up and throw it away. Second time they might go, oh, that's the same person, but they'll still probably throw it away. Although you might get a couple more orders, right? Maybe the fourth and fifth and sixth time is when they're going to start feeling like, oh, they feel like they know you because your brochure's been there every 2 weeks, right? Every 2 weeks for the last 6 weeks or whatever, 6 campaigns, so 12 weeks. And then you're going to get more orders your fourth, fifth, sixth time that you leave them. And then after the 6 times, you just literally move to any customers you got. Obviously, you'll put into your system, right? You'll plug them into your system. They're now your customer. And then you literally just start to the next house that you didn't get to before, and you go the next 200 to 300 houses. And we built our business up to the point where we were selling $6,000 a campaign, $6,000 a campaign, by building our business up just by doing this, leaving them on doorsteps. And I think Richard walked the whole city of Ventura over the course of, I don't know, a couple of years, right?
Good exercise. I probably should do it again.
So, of course, every brochure should have your contact information. When somebody calls or text you or whatever, and you get an order, then you're going to add them to your system. So make sure that you put your contact information on the back. Make sure you put your name, your phone number, your email. Make sure you put your website address. They might just go to your website and place an order. I've had a lot of people do that too. And we love website orders, right? We all love online orders. So I said this already, you'll pick up a few more customers each campaign. By the time you get to the 4th, 5th, and 6th campaign, you start to feel like you know you. So remember I told you that you would probably get 20 to 30 customers if you knock on the door out of 100 brochures. Well, after 6 campaigns of doing it this way, you'll get the same 20 to 30. So it took you 6 times as long. It took you 6 times as many brochures. So you need to be aware of that. But the difference is you're not physically talking to them. If you want quicker results, you have to physically talk to them. You have to be really friendly with them, right? Offer them a brochure and maybe a sample or whatever. But this still will work. You can still build it. Like I said, we built it up to $6,000 a campaign. We literally actually built our business up to over $120,000 a year just doing this, right? So this is absolutely possible. So we were both working high pressure jobs. I was commuting. People don't want you knocking at the doors at night. You don't want to limit your business to door, but it is a great component of your strategy. And you know what? If you just do leave it on the doorstep, it's still something you can do even with COVID. And actually, I think you could even knock on a door. I would not go in somebody's house, but you could probably knock on a door, but I would have a mask on. For sure, because somebody might not even open the door if they see that you don't have a mask on, right? And you stay outside, don't go in their house, and you still could talk to them and you could still get their contact information. So that's up to you. But you could for sure leave them on the doorsteps, even with COVID, right? And it's a great way to get some exercise. You're outside, you're really pretty safe because you're not in contact with anybody really. You're just going door to door and you're not really seeing anybody, right? Do you have anything you want to add on that?
No, you covered it good.
Because Richard's really the expert on that. He figured out systems. I mean, my honey, he's Mr. Analytical. He figured out things like, in a neighborhood, new neighborhoods especially, they seem to be like in an area, like, I don't know, a couple of blocks or a whole bunch of blocks in an area. And it's like a community, a subdivision. And he figured out that the houses on the outside of the subdivision were more likely to buy than the ones on the inside. And I think that's funny, but that might be human nature. Maybe people who buy houses on the outside are not as private or they're more social. Yeah. And the ones that buy their houses in the middle of the subdivision maybe are just more, they want their privacy more. Another thing is that house is on a T, so you have a road that goes this way, and you have another road that ends there where you either have to turn left or right. You can't go straight. That house on that T will always buy.
Even if they have a sign up, do not disturb, that means you.
Do not solicit.
Do not solicit. Do not disturb, that means you. And invariably, those would be the best customers.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, and speaking of that, though, I would ignore any signs that say no soliciting, because they're really they're just looking. They don't want the religious people knocking on their doors, or they don't want who's the broom guy, the people that sell the brooms and all that, because you're not walking around saying, hey, buy some Avon from me. Here, look, I have all these products. And you're not opening your coat and saying, look, I have all these products, buy them from me. You're just offering them a brochure. And when people say no soliciting, usually they mean actually selling something. Handing out a brochure is usually not a problem. And like Richard said, I can't even begin to tell you how many customers we have that have big signs on their doors that say no soliciting, but they buy from us. So, anyway, you have to decide that for yourself, I guess. So another way you can do this is putting brochures in various businesses, right? So you can give yourself a point if you're taking the time out to get out there and put out brochures. Make sure you have all your contact information. Make sure that you, on the brochure, have your website, your email, your phone number, so they know how to reach you. Some of those people might just order online and you'll just see an order come through. And how cool is that, right? So one of the things that we do is that there's many places you can leave your catalogs. And one of the things that we do, and we really haven't done it a whole lot just since COVID happened, that kind of slowed us down. But we built a route and we would go to doctor's offices. And now it's hard to get in if you don't have an appointment. But we would go to doctor's offices and we literally would go in the first time we went, Richard and I went together, I carried a basket that had a whole bunch of samples and some mini hand creams and lip balms and stuff like that. And I'd walk in and I'd go, hi, we're with Avon. We're your local Avon rep. We have a free gift for you. And we would let them pick something out of the basket. And a lot of times the receptionist would say, can I get some samples or get some for my coworkers? I'm like, yes. And then would it be okay if we leave a brochure here for you? And how many would you like us to leave? And we literally would keep a note. So we had a page that would say 123 Main Street or such and such medical building, suite number 400, left 5 brochures, and the receptionist's name if we could come up with that, right? Suite number 402, Anna, excited about Avon, left 2 brochures. Suite number 404, not interested. So now I know not to go back to suite 404 next time. We keep that paper and we use it, and then once we learn the route, we don't need it anymore. But so I know not to go to 404 the next time, right? Suite number 408, Mary, might be interested in selling, left 4 books. You know what I'm saying? And then you keep that. And then another secret we learned, maybe by accident, but we start at the top of the building and work our way down, because what I've learned is sometimes you run into somebody that's nasty, that oh, you can't be here, you're not allowed to be here, whatever. And there really isn't very many of those. There are some, but there really isn't very many. But so if they tell you, oh, you can't be here, you need to leave, then you say, oh, no problem, I'm sorry. And you go to the stairs and you go down, and they assume you're leaving. If you were to go up, they would question you, right? But they assume you're leaving because you're going down, and you just go to the next floor and you keep going. So, I don't let somebody who has a hair up there, that's going to stop me from working my business. Because like I said, the majority of the people are excited to see us. So that's how we do it, okay? But during COVID, like I said, Richard had a doctor's appointment the other day, and I wasn't even allowed to go with him, because only people who have patients who are the patient who has an appointment can go in right now. So right now it's probably not a good time to do that. But there may be places, I have a whole list of places, obviously doctors, dentists, orthodontists, hospital, urgent care, veterinarian maybe, but these first couple probably no, not right now.
They're usually screening you now to go in.
Yeah, they're taking your
temperature and question if you've been out of the state, and et cetera.
Yeah, you might be able to do a veterinarian's office, especially if you happen to know somebody that works there. Laundromat's a great place to leave them, because lots of people go in there and they have to have something to do while they're waiting for their laundry. That's a great place to leave books. You can just leave them on the different tables, right? Dry cleaners, mechanics waiting room. If you're going to get an oil change or you're getting your brakes fixed or whatever, the waiting room is a great place to leave books, like I said, a lot of these may not be effective right now. Hair salon, nail salon. Right now, my hair salon, nail salon, I have the girl that does my hair and nails. It's the same girl. But you have to have an appointment. You have to wait outside and text her, let her know you're there. And then when she's finished and with her last appointment and ready for you, she texts you and tells you to come in, and she checks my temperature, and we have to have masks. So even you probably couldn't leave a book in a situation like that, but it depends on where you live. It depends on how bad COVID is in your area, right? So all kinds of places: tanning salon, ice cream parlor, bagel shop, donut shop, deli, bakery, flower shops, restaurants.
Retirement home now. They don't let anybody in the retirement homes right now.
But
You
keep
can't
in
do
mind,
that.
it depends on where you
Yeah.
live. You know, I mean, there are some states that don't have a COVID problem really. So
Yeah. If you don't ask, the answer is no.
that's true.
Yeah.
If you don't ask, you know what the answer is going to be. So
Yeah.
you at least should ask, right? Bakery, deli, some stores, you know, might let you leave them at the check stands. And I'm talking smaller mom and pop stores. Probably the big store chains probably wouldn't let you. But I'm just saying, again, if you don't ask. I mean, Chris Merrill, she's one of our team members. She was just talking about, or she submitted her daily 8, and she said that I don't have it in front of me, but there's some produce stands like on the street, like produce stands, and then there's some place where I think you go cut your own flowers and leave the money there or something. So she would leave brochures in those places, like in those, as many as she can. She'd put them in what's new bags and leave them, and she's gone back and they're gone. So she's keeps doing it. And so yeah, it just get creative and figure out where you can do it. I know COVID is slowing things down, but there's still plenty of opportunity out there. So we got, you know, mortgage, computer stores, school office, fabric stores, print store, all kinds of places, right? I would ask permission. It depends on what it is. If it's a laundromat, I probably wouldn't ask permission. I would just leave some brochures. If you're going in like a movie theater lobby or a grocery store or something like that, I would probably get permission. Apartment leasing office, I would get permission. So go with your gut. Go, you know, you'll know if you need permission or not, right?
Yeah, a lot of those, if you go around with, you have samples with you and the brochures, sometimes you can get your foot in the door that way.
Mm-hmm.
Say, hey, would you like a sample? Yeah, I got an Avon book. Oh, Avon, really? Yeah, would you like a sample? Yeah, can I leave some books here? You just kind of get your foot in the door. If you just go in and say, can I leave these Avon books here? They'll probably say no. It's too abrupt. But kind of schmooze them a little.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Okay, and then if you also have the ability to text or email Avon digital brochures, right? So if expense is an issue for you, if you're not wanting to buy brochures, you can do a digital brochure. In my opinion, a digital brochure is not as effective as the physical brochure. You're gonna have to work harder, because it's all about, you know, I really believe to build our business, you got to spend some money or some energy. Actually, you need both, but you can spend more money and less energy, or you can spend more energy and less money. It's a scale. So I think you need both, but I do think you can balance. You can tip that scale, right? So if you're going to use digital brochures, so you're doing it with less money, then you're going to have to put more energy into it, right? But the reason why I believe, and I mean, I'm going to get really brutal here, but if I text a digital brochure to my customer and she's busy, she gets the text and she looks at it, she goes, oh, it's her brochure, I'll look at it later, and she's busy, she might not ever get back to it. There's nothing to remind her to go back to it. The text has already been seen, so it's not showing up as new anymore.
Yeah, 15 texts later, and what happened?
Yeah, 15 texts later, she might never see it again. Yeah. Whereas if I give her a physical brochure, she might leave it in her car for a couple of days. Eventually, it might make its way to her countertop in her kitchen, and then eventually it might make it to her bathroom or her bedroom. And I'm not kidding. People do this. They'll be sitting in the bathroom and they'll be going through the brochure, right? And they might be turning down pages. They might, oh, wow, I want that. And they might be marking it all up. But if you don't do that reminder, they're going to lay that book down and forget to call you. But at least a real brochure floats around for a little while in their face, in the bathroom, on the counter, in their car, right? The digital brochure, it's like, oh, well, I'm too busy right now. And then 10 texts come through the rest of the day. they never get back to it. So if you're going to do it digital, for sure, you need to text them the brochure, but then you need to like text them again a week later or before the end of the campaign and say, hey, this campaign's ending. Just a reminder, if there's anything you wanted, you might want to order it before this campaign ends, because the last day is on Monday, right? On Tuesday, the new campaign will be starting. So those are ways to do it though. And here's the link on how to share your digital brochure if you're not sure how. So you can click on this. It will open this up. We have 2 different digital brochures now. We have, no, that's not the, I should probably link it. I should probably link it to the other post. We have 2 different brochures. We have the one that's the customizable one that has animation and all that stuff. And we have the one that you can go through page by page. I will fix this link so it goes to the post that shows you the difference between those 2 if you don't already know it. So check that back tomorrow and you'll be able to get it.
And we have other reminders in there too about the reminder call or reminder text. We mentioned that before on our other calls, but that's something that's part of the follow-up, and that is so critical because 99% of the time people aren't going to just call you up and place an order. A few will, but most of the time it's that last minute. We send out our call on a Monday and say we need your order by Tuesday so we can place it for you. And we'll go from 3 orders to 30 orders or 5 orders to 50, just after that call, because they see it. They've been prepping, they've been looking through the book or looking at the text, looking at the online brochure, but they haven't acted because they thought, well, I don't need to send it in yet. And then when we send out the reminder call, it's crunch time, and they automatically call us, and it's really cool. And they're really friendly about it.
Most of them text, actually.
Yeah,
but
they text back.
Some of them call.
Yeah.
And some of the little old ladies that are our customers that don't text or whatever, I send them a phone reminder message. It's pre-recorded. And I'm sure if you've been following us, you've heard this already. But it's just a pre-recorded message. It says, hey, this is Lynn, your Avon lady. Just a reminder, my order's going in. And those little old ladies will pick up the phone and call us. So it works. It really does work. So that's it. That's what we have for you guys today. It's kind of quiet. Does anybody have any questions or anything? I'm gonna come back to us. And I want to thank you for being here. And if you're watching the replay, be sure to let us know that you were on the replay. And I think that's really all we have. So thank you. Looks like we have Sarah and Karen, or I don't know if Sarah's here or not. We have Karen and Denise. So thank you for being here. We will be back next Sunday, same time, same channel. And I have some new things to talk to you about on Sunday. So I hope to see you then.
If you have any questions, you can always reach out to us.
Yep.
On Online Beauty Biz.
Yep. All right. Have an amazing week.
Have a great week.
And we'll see you next week.
Good night, everyone.
Bye-bye.